Howdy, Chris. Happy Sunday, buddy. Totally loved your video last week. I mean, who wouldn't want to live forever? And now with my topic tie-in out of the way, I want to talk about this weekend's Stormblood keynote event. So lots of amazing and maybe confusing information coming out of this weekend's FanFest.
The following is a pre-recorded video. With all the information coming out this weekend, Ryan thought it would be better to speculate over what was happening rather than travel into the future, as traveling into the future is not safe.
So perhaps the most shocking was that they decided to remove all playable races from the game and add in Gooboo as the only playable race. They've provided this in-game footage from Stormblood. So I've got a lot of thoughts on this. I know they said that the decision was made because of a poll on Reddit, and I get that having just one playable race is going to make it easier to design all the gear for. You don't have to have multiple different races and the gear to fit them accordingly. But honestly, I think this was a big mistake. Some obvious questions I have are, can a Gooboo even handle like a two-handed weapon? How many mounts can even support the weight of a Gooboo? Aren't they going to have to redesign the dungeons because wouldn't Gooboos just get stuck in all the doorways? And does this mean that every NPC in the game is going to be a Gooboo now? Or is it just the playable characters? I don't know. And then from just an immersion perspective, they've only got like 3 fingers and no opposable thumbs, so how are they going to even open doors in this game? You know, I just really think it's going to break my immersion. And next up was the announcement that Dragoons are actually going to queue in to duties dead, just to give the healers practice on resurrecting them. I mean, this one actually kind of makes sense. So people are really excited about this one. The popular show Sesame Street is going to be featured in a crossover event with Final Fantasy XIV. So we're going to be doing fates where we get to have to drive Oscar the Grouch back into his trash can. And the loot for some of these things looks pretty great. So we're going to have some glamour gear for Cookie Monster. But what I'm really excited about is the new Big Bird mount. Now, we should have seen this coming because Yoshi P did come on the stage with the Snuffleupagus t-shirt on. So with his propensity for t-shirts, that it should have just made sense from day one. Regardless, I am going to be definitely doing this event. I cannot wait. Now, for all you crafters out there, there's going to be something you may like and may not like with Stormblood. So we got some big changes incoming. So what you might be excited about is all future weapons are now going to be craftable. So dungeons aren't going to drop any gear. They're going to drop materials, and then those materials can be turned into weapons. However, now all the materials needed are going to be basically from a kindergarten class. This seems like a weird choice in my opinion. Let's go see what you can make with popsicle sticks, cotton balls, and glue. Man, just a lot of weird changes announced today. No Blue Major Samurai, that's pretty shocking. But I have to assume that some of this is due to the late-breaking announcement of the acquisition of Square Enix. So it seems that Square Enix has been acquired in a hostile takeover by Asians Incorporated. We've been lucky enough to get an actual picture that they tweeted out from their first boardroom meeting. You know, I'm thinking they've probably been feeling the deck has been pretty stacked up against them, and they needed to take some real action, I guess, in our world now. And maybe this explains turning all their enemies into Gooboos? Well, I guess we're just gonna have to see how this all turns out. And Chris, I'll see you next Sunday.
Chris, I don't have much time. I was able to reconfigure the Echo, and I'm contacting you from the future. Eorzea is in grave danger. So many strange things are happening. It was all a trick, Chris. It was all a trick. The Gooboos, they're not housebroken. There's poop everywhere. The arts and crafts weapons, they're no match for Magitech armor. And for some reason, the next FanFest is being held in the center of the sun. Tickets are expensive. That's all the time I have for you. I'll contact you again when I can.